let's move on to something else. We're going to move on about something that has not been talked about a lot. Of course, it's something that's quite new to me as well. I learned about this only merely a few years ago, and I was quite shocked that this thing exists. Of course, we're going to focus on mental health and its awareness, and of course, when it comes to postpartum depression, when it comes to new mothers.
Yeah, exactly. Not just for mothers, of course. When you talk about new parents, especially in today's day and age, there's a lot of things that needs to be considered. There's a lot of things that needs to be mindful of, especially when you just have a new member of the family, a child, maybe a girl or a boy. As much as you want to cater to the newborn, you do want to make sure that you cater to yourselves as well. So hence why mental health is actually a very, very important topic that needs to be adhered to, needs to be voiced out, so that all of these new parents, they really understand what it is that's going on, and a lot of people understand where they're coming from as well, and they need to be taken care of as well. Hence why we have a couple of very influential guests to talk about this particular topic about new parents' mental health. We have, first of all, Anita Abu Bakar, the President and Founder of MIASA Malaysia. Anita, thank you so much for coming down.
Thank you so much for having me.
And we have a brand new mother for about a year.
Brand new.
Yeah, brand new. Hanisa Begam Najib Mohammad. And thank you so much for coming down.
Thank you so
Again, first of all, congratulations on being a mother. How's the feeling been so far?
The feeling so far, of course, is an amazing journey for me, because I've been waiting for this moment for about more than 6 years for me to become a mother.
Alhamdulillah.
So it was a very amazing journey, but at the same time, it's quite challenging because of the knowledge itself of being a mother. I need to learn a lot.
Sure, of course. I mean, yeah, because when we talk about this whole mental health, because most of the time, Nabil, I think we've had guests on the show when we talk about mental health in work, in the workplace, you know, between daughters and fathers, or even, especially during COVID at that time. But one thing about this topic that we want to specify on is about new parents, new mothers, new fathers. And to come to you, Anita, what are the common mental health challenges that new parents actually face? Because again, we just spoke offline. You are not so new
Not
parent.
so new mom.
Same like I am. I mean, like we're not old enough to
we're
be
not
considered
old. We're
as new.
young at heart.
We're young
at heart.
We're always young at heart. So what are the new challenges that new parents actually face now, to your opinion and to your own research?
First and foremost, being a parent, it's an extraordinary experience, all in all. It's amazing when you see, your child for the first time. It's really just for your benefit.
Everybody's looking at Nabi right now. So.
It's really the best experience, the best moment in your life. But with that, obviously, it comes with lots of challenges, especially if you come unprepared, right? Because when you're a first-time parent, you think it's easy, probably, because it's a wonderful experience. It's something new. It's a beautiful, amazing, like what Hanisa said. But the mental health challenges might come in ways like sleep deprivation. Now, a lot of times when when I was pregnant, as an example, a lot of people say, okay, now is the time for you to get all the sleep that you can possibly, But I never understood what it meant until I got a child, and especially if your baby is, as an example, a colic baby. Right, very difficult going to sleep, constantly waking up. So sleep deprivation is one. Two, the anxiety that comes with a lot of uncertainties, right, within that period. Confinement period, for me at least, and for many moms, it can be more difficult than giving birth itself, especially if you lack the support. You don't come with that knowledge or a handbook in that sense. Now, what is more challenging than that is if you go through what we call postpartum blues, which 50 to 85%, at least 80% of women go through that, but it resolves itself within 2 weeks. However, when it prolongs, then postpartum depression can hit. So this is when you feel maybe isolation, feelings of guilt, sadness, so on and so forth, and that can prolong. And it can kick in. The onset could be, about 4 weeks in, up to a year. And then one of the other things that people don't talk a lot about, but this is in Bahasa, we say apa yang meroyan
Yes.
contohnya, right? Is actually also a medical condition. It's called postpartum psychosis.
Right.
So this is when you feel disengaged with your baby, you're not able to bond in that sense,
Yeah.
and then that feeling of maybe suicidalness kicks in, or maybe being homicidal in that sense because hallucinations, delusions, paranoia kick in. So a lot of things can happen if you don't have that necessary support and also knowledge, tools, and also skills. So it's not really easy. It can potentially be challenging and really difficult, but it's hard for parents to admit it because of societal pressures again and expectations.